Daniel is really cool. He's Gopar on IRC, and he's been following EmacsConf since the very beginning. Should turn off the volume. Cool. He's going to be talking about, he goes to school in
CSUMB.
CSUMB. He's going to be talking about like Emacs beginners. What was it?
Yeah, from basically my talk is the perspective of kind of seeing Emacs from what I've seen from school, from my peers, and how they basically perceive Emacs. Yeah, basically like that.
Cool. And just make sure you speak up a bit for the people in the back.
Okay.
And this mic.
Wait, how do I present the...
I need to click on your thing. First, can you click on share screen? That one?
Okay.
Entire screen. Share. And then we'll click on you. Let's try. So I'm at EmacsConf 2015. So let's try this one more time.
Refresh?
Yeah. Sometimes it doesn't work the first time. If it doesn't work again, do you have an HDMI port? Or do you want to bring it up on my screen?
Yeah, that'd be fine.
Okay. Let's see if it works. If it doesn't work, you can use my screen. Hey, it's us. Okay. Okay, you got it.
All right, so which one's the mic?
This is the one with the mic.
Okay.
We can move it over there if that's easier.
It's cool.
Okay, cool.
All right, so like Samer mentioned before, my name is Daniel. People call me Gopar. That's my last name, and I also go as that in IRC. And my friend Miguel was, he kind of hit traffic coming over here, so he won't be able to join. So yeah, all right. So basically it was just a quick introduction. We're both software engineering students. We both have a meetup, and I'm looking forward to the talk that Mr. Harry Schwartz is going to give, so some tips. And we're from Salinas, which is basically 2 hours south from here. And of course, we love Emacs, just like everybody here. And all right, I'm gonna just go straight to the point. So basically, you guys have noticed from the younger generation, basically, they're kind of lazy. I'm not gonna lie, we're lazy, and I'll get more into details from that. And also some of the things from I noticed when I was starting out is some of the language that Emacs brings up. Like for example, I did not know that font locking was the same thing as syntax highlighting. I mean, I was clueless. I didn't know. And you know, some of the key bindings, you have to get used to it, like Control Y, you know, Control is the same as Control B. At first, you know, I was just scrolling screens instead of just pasting. It's like, why isn't it working? And stuff like that. And of course, the Emacs tutorial resources. And as everybody knows in here, it's well documented. The documentation is robust. But of course, as a younger generation, you know, you'll see right now, they say read documentation. That is basically what they say. I'm serious. From what I've seen, that is basically what they say. So even right there, see what I mean? So yeah, they aren't so friendly as to documentation, but we'll all get there eventually. So basically, the beginners from my peers, some of them, it depends what you consider lazy. For example, I've fallen for this too. I go to YouTube for anything. If I want to learn something real quick, if there's a YouTube video, I'd rather watch that than, you know, read a blog post or something. That's just the way I learn. That I've seen a lot of people, my peers, kind of just embrace that way of learning. Just go video first, and then, you know, if there's written content, then go that later. So depending on your point of view, that might be lazy or not. And also, what I've seen, and also happened to me, the first time I was learning Emacs, I said, you know what, this is taking too much time. I'm not going to learn the key bindings. I'd rather just stick to, you know, whatever X IDE I was using or whatever. And also, when I was learning Emacs at first, I mean, I was totally clueless. I mean, I didn't really got any help. I mean, I didn't have any physical person that, you know, within like a 50-mile radius or something that knew Emacs. So I was basically on my own. And setting up environments to work on is kind of tricky, well, for a beginner at least. Now it's, you know, we get used to it. So basically, to set up environments, I think starter kits are awesome, but from my point of view and from what I've seen other people do, so again, these are just my, you know, personal opinions. So, you know, hopefully someone doesn't come after me, you know, try to kill me or something. But basically, I think from the starter kits, from what I've seen from my peers, is that, you know, they get a little bit complicated, you know, because when you start learning Emacs and then you just throw like a starter kit in there, what I personally feel is when you're learning Emacs, the key bindings itself are already kind of hard to memorize because you have to get used to this whole new layout of typing and everything, and plus adding more custom things to it, it's just kind of, I feel like it overloads somebody, so they might not feel, they might see the potential, but they just won't, I don't know how to explain it, like they just might feel overwhelmed with the keyboards. And, you know, there might be packages that they never will ever use. For example, let's say there's like Ruby packages and the person is trying to use it for like Python or whatever, or stuff like that. So yeah. And also from what I've seen, if something breaks, how are you supposed to know from a beginner's perspective if you're the cause of it or was something in the package that broke, you know, like a regression or something? I mean, there's no way for someone that's brand new to figure all that stuff out. So that's just my opinion. So what I tell people that see me use Emacs is like, oh yeah, just, you know, just install the generic, you know, the default Emacs, and then, you know, as you learn, you kind of just well, you make your choice. If you want to go with the starter kit, you know, like SpaceMax or something like that, it's all good. I mean, now you have the experience, now you know how to debug and all that. So also another point is, you know, the slang, like what I said, like, you know, font locking, you know, syntax highlighting, you know, what the heck. And also, you know, frame does not equal window, you know, there's kind of like, I've seen stuff like that. You know, I would get confused personally. I don't know how many of you already knew, but at first I said, why isn't the window a frame, or why it says that it's going to do this in the frame, but it's actually doing this. So stuff like that, you know, yank, kill, point, you know, all those little things can throw a beginner off. And maybe you guys...
So what would you kill? What would you control the yank? Right? It's not the base. Base kills base within the system clipboard. Yank is something else.
No, yeah. But I mean, when you're learning Emacs, I mean, well, from my perspective, that's the way I grew up. You know, paste is paste, not like how you were saying right now. So.
Get the regular Control C and Control V instead of the yank.
Oh yeah, but you see, I didn't know anybody. I mean, I was completely clueless. I was like, you know, in the middle of a jungle, you know, just by myself. That's how I felt. So I mean, I was completely clueless. So this is why I'm giving my perspective, you know, as I was just like thrown in there, you know, into the wildlife, you know, survive, you know, make it on your own kind of things. So see, now I have people like you know, to give me hints. But yeah, when I was beginning, you guys would have been helpful. Where were you guys at, man? Yeah, all right. So for the resources, you know, we all know it's all documented, and like for example, myself, like I just keep being repeating myself right here. We didn't know. I mean, I didn't know about the resources. I mean, I didn't know that everything was contained. I mean, now it's like, oh my God, why do I even have to leave Emacs? I mean, if I want to know something, it's just right there, you know. And I would use Google, Stack Overflow, all those things to figure out. And what I've noticed is that there are some answers, but most of the answers that go around, I've noticed that it's like on IRC basically, not so much. I mean, yeah, there's like Emacs.StackExchange now that is like growing and stuff like that. But I mean, like a year ago, there wasn't that many stuff, or at least, or maybe I just sucked at Googling. Maybe that was it. I don't know. But you know, with beginners, even though they want to be spoon-fed everything, sometimes you got to say the following, you know. And I would have accepted it too when I was reading. So, yeah, I mean, sometimes you got to say that because you can't spoon feed everything. I mean, there has to be a time where a beginner has to grow. And what I would have wanted was, you know, I kind of got this answer a lot when I was in IRC. But I mean, they just said that, but they didn't really like give me, like point me to the right direction. If you would have just pointed me, I would have like dug deeper. But basically, everybody just said, "Oh, just just manual." But they didn't really help me out. I'm not sure if I'm explaining myself correctly. All right. So now, when I went over the tutorial, I thought it was awesome. I thought it was pretty good. But maybe there could be a little bit better way of making it more interactive. Maybe like like Codecademy, you type it in, you hit enter, you see the results if you did it right like that. So maybe there was something like that. So again, this is just my ramblings. Take it as it is. So yeah, maybe make it like a keyboard game, something like that. Make it more interactive, make it more interesting for people that are trying to learn, stuff like that. And maybe what would help me as well is finding good sites that had relevant Emacs information. Like for right now that I've seen, I saw like 2 new sites come up that are for newbie Emacs friendly. I can't remember, like something like endless parentheses or something like that, or Irreal or something like that. They post they post like pretty good Emacs stuff, and that would have been helpful for me because at first I didn't really know how to explain what I wanted Emacs to do. So stuff like that. And I'm not sure if the tutorial, the Control HT, the basic Emacs tutorial, does it give a link to the Elisp tutorial or no? No? So,
I don't think it does.
Oh, yeah. So that would have been nice. It says like, hey, if you want to customize it, here's a link to the Elisp tutorial. Because I didn't know it had a tutorial. I was brand new. I didn't know anything. I was completely clueless. So yeah, maybe just things like this that would have helped me a little bit closer, and hopefully would improve, or people will do something about it.
Do you want to collect some of these? If we send them to you?
I'm sorry, what?
If we send some of these resources to you, will you collect them and put them someplace?
Yeah, so I'll talk about that. So like I said, Elisp is awesome. We love it. So maybe if there was like a tutorial that showed like how to build a game. Like for example, I know that the Emacs meetup in New York gave a talk about creating a game with tic-tac-toe in Elisp. So if there was like something pointing you towards that direction where you can actually learn through a game or stuff like that. Like for example, there's this guy I saw right now. There's what was it? He's doing a closure video series on how to do like a zombie game or something. So that would have been cool if somebody did that, something like that scope, but for Elisp or something like that around that area. That way, people would be actually seeing the fruits of the results of what they're typing, what they're writing. So yeah, so just a list of sites and anything like that would have pointed me, because I was lost again. So yeah. So another thing that when I was learning Emacs, I did not know about packages. I thought that everything was already installed within Emacs. So I was trying to figure out like, hey, how come I don't get code completion, or how come it doesn't do this automatically and stuff like that. So I didn't know about like stuff like package.l and all that you needed to manually install packages and stuff like that. I did not know. I was completely clueless again. And the only reason I found out about that you can do that is again by a YouTube video. So you see, I just instinctively fall back to YouTube, and some guy showed, hey, if you want to do this for I think it was like I installed LPy, and he showed that you just install packages through here, and that's the only reason I learned. If it wasn't for that, I would have never learned the packages. I probably would have quit Emacs or something. So yeah, and maybe show, like, I don't know why. How can I say this? I didn't know that you also needed to add your own repositories like Melpa to be able to see the plethora of packages that there are. Because I didn't know that. I was just typing stuff in and seeing what happens. I was just following the video and saying, hey, what does this do? And then I saw that there's a huge list of packages, and I was like, oh, this is awesome. So yeah, it made my life easier. I didn't know. For a while I was editing Java, by file, no code completion. That was like horrible. But thankfully, the class was pretty straightforward that I could just do that by myself. So yeah, and also like a simple guide on how to install packages, stuff like that would have been helpful as well. So here's some of the stuff that probably would have helped. So, well, I'm planning on giving a little bit more in depth in this, so like lightning talks. So basically, my idea is basically create like an IRC or Slack or something like that that will be able to help others that are learning Emacs get into it quicker. There's like a place, like a friendly place that you can come, and not that I'm saying that the Emacs channel isn't friendly, but just a more place that is more aimed towards the beginners, basically. Like an IRC for beginners, or like a Slack or something like that, or any of those communications. Also, what I wanted to do was basically create, for example, the only reason I found out about Emacs was because I think I overheard it, and I said, "What is this thing called Emacs? What is it? What is this thing? What is this whole hipster or whatever?" And that's how I found out about it. But what I would like to do is basically, spread the gospel a little bit more and create basically like Emacs clubs around schools. Because, all right, how many of you guys used Emacs when you guys were in school? All right. Oh, man, look at you. You guys are lucky. How many of you guys had friends or people that knew Emacs? What? You guys are all lucky, man. I'm like the only one in my school, I'm not kidding, that knows about Emacs.
There were only like 4, don't worry.
Hey, you at least, that's 3 more than what I had, I was just by myself. So basically, spread a little bit more about Emacs, help people spread, show them what Emacs can do, and, just like a place that people can come together and learn about Emacs, like right here, except in clubs. That way, Emacs can grow more and more. That's what I want. And I'm pretty sure that's what everybody wants. I mean, everybody wants Emacs to continue to be robust and stable, right? So also, like how I was saying about my peers falling back into like YouTube videos and all that. Personally, I said, you know what, I'm gonna be making these ramblings, so might as well, start it. Don't just talk about it. So what I did, I'm starting I have like 3 videos out, like showing stuff, saying, hey, this, when I was learning Emacs, this is what I wish somebody would have spent, like 5 minutes talking to me, 5 minutes of setting all of this up. So I have like 3 videos out right now that show how to do this. I mean, and I'm gonna just say it right now, I don't know what the quality of my videos, I mean, I don't know if they're good or not, but what I want to do is, encourage some of you guys right here to hopefully, make YouTube videos or things like that, to show how to set up everything from the get-go, from fresh install Emacs to, configuring out to, just making it like a simple Python or Ruby or Java environment, because that would have helped me out a lot. And, that's what I hope to accomplish with the videos that I'm making. But I mean, obviously I don't know the quality. So I want more people to, to contribute, to, show that there's not just this one guy, doing it, that there's like, the community is actually trying to, get more people involved. So yeah, hopefully you guys get motivated, or I don't know, hopefully, and try to do stuff like that. So hopefully, yeah, I think that's it. I think I sped through this talk. So again, I apologize. My friend Miguel was kind of supposed to do the other half. So yeah. And do you guys have any questions? Or, all right, I'll go with you.
Yeah, these are really great suggestions. I was wondering, you faced all these barriers and yet persevered. What was it that I think in your position I would have probably been like, oh, this is gibberish, and I would have done something else. So how is it that you maintained your enthusiasm for Emacs through all of that?
I'll make sure to repeat the question.
So the question was, how do I kept trying Emacs even though I faced all these obstacles in the way? So the answer is simple. I'm stubborn. I said I'm gonna make this work. I don't care how long it takes. So basically, thank God that I'm stubborn. If not, I wouldn't even be here. So yeah, that's the only answer. I mean, I was just stubborn. I said I'm gonna make this work. I don't care. So that was it. Yeah.
What kind of feedback have you had on your videos?
Videos. So the question was, what type of feedback have I gotten from the videos? And so far, I've only released, like I said, like 3 videos, I think, and they've only been out for like a month. So there's only like together, I think like less like 90 views. So I don't know. I got like 2 thumbs up. So I guess I don't know. So I don't know what feedback that is. So yeah. So are there any?
Where are your videos?
So yeah, my videos are on YouTube.
If you go on your laptop, you can see.
Okay.
I'll give you thumbs up.
All right.
But you should let us host them because there's like a, there's an issue with YouTube and the JavaScript on it and Western using like a separate client. So we have a video.emacsconf 2015.org now that we were gonna actually stream the conference from, but we had some trouble getting that to work.
Or you know what? I'll get the link and I'll post it on the IRC channel because I don't.
Yeah, that's great. If you don't mind us grabbing the video from YouTube and putting it up, then maybe we can do that.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And
There's a whole lot of Emacs videos, or some Emacs videos on YouTube. What is it under?
I think I think if you put like Daniel Gopar Emacs tutorial or something like that, it should pop out. I'm guessing. Yeah. Yeah.
When I want to see something, I want to see like why is it cool, why might I want to use it. That's why I want to watch a video, And then the thing that they don't usually do in the videos is they don't actually just list how do I install this in Emacs, Which I think that'd be a big thing in terms of adoption. Is of like just show me your use this and show me why this is cool. And then at the bottom there's like a little gist or whatever that says, and this is how you put it into your Emacs file. Done. Like if I like it, I'll put it in my Emacs file. If I don't, I won't. Just feedback.
Okay. Yeah, the way I'm making my videos is basically just like from the title it says how to install packages. Just so basically straightforward. I mean, if I wanted to install packages, I would just click it. So yeah. But yeah, I'll try different approaches. See whatever.
Just in general, still like I can watch any of your videos. I'm not really critiquing your videos here. I'm just saying Emacs in general, like don't just type it out in the video and then expect me to copy it along as you're typing. Put it just at the end so I can just say, oh, that was really cool. Everything I just saw the last 5 or 6 minutes. Let me just copy it from source and put it in wherever I'm
Okay. All right. Yeah, the guy in the back.
Somebody found your videos on IRC and they posted it on IRC.
Okay, that was
I
fast.
can just repeat the questions. So what he said was someone already posted the video to IRC.
Yeah.
So like one thing, sometimes I want to watch a YouTube video if I want to find out how to do something, but oftentimes if I kind of already know what I'm doing, I find it really irritating that the only documentation is a YouTube video because it's not searchable. Like, I think that, different people have different learning styles, right? But I think that they support like 2 different access patterns. Like your access pattern for like a blog post, it makes it searchable. So like you can easily refer to it back in the future, and you can bookmark it, and you can like command up for whatever you were looking for. So I guess it's not really a question, but I think if it's nice to have like a blog post and a companion YouTube video. So like that satisfies both learning styles. It's more effort, obviously, but it satisfies both learning styles. And even for people who learn better through watching it on YouTube, they can copy and paste the commands from the blog post. They can go back and search it later on.
If you just want to repeat, actually, that makes more sense.
So do you want me to repeat?
Yeah.
So basically, a comment was basically have like a companion, like a blog post companion to the video as well. That way, the content is more searchable, not just in video format, basically. So, question or?
No, I agree with what he's saying.
Okay, all right. Is there any more questions or? No. Oh,
I just wanted to mention I created a channel called Emacs Beginners, 2 hashes, not 1.
Okay.
And made you
Okay. That's.
use your powerful move.
Okay. So there's a comment. There's already a channel created just now. It's called Emacs Emacs Beginners or just beginners or.
Emacs. It's #Emacs-beginners.
So #, Emacs-beginners. Yeah, is that it, or?
I have some from IRC if you want to read them out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so there are just some comments from IRC that I'll read out. People are talking about, so Dole Mantle says, would a Khan Academy Emacs tutorial be helpful? Because apparently anyone can make one.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, whatever resource is out there to help, I think it's a good idea. So, I mean, and Khan Academy is interactive, or is it interactive?
I think there is some interactive stuff, but I'm not super certain.
Yeah, so whatever helps. I mean, whatever helps learning. Like, I know Exorcism IO has a Elisp track. So, I mean, that's awesome. So, yeah, and you get feedback from the community, so that's good as well. So, yeah, stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Inhalation has a comment, or has a question. Is there an Emacs to common programming tongue glossary that exists anywhere? Because all of these are in the manual, but they don't know if there's a common like glossary for like this type of
glossary in the manual, or is it glossary in Emacs Wiki?
Oh, okay. So apparently there's a glossary in the Emacs Wiki and in the manual.
I posted an RC via malfunction to one direction,
Oh, okay. So apparently they posted that in IRC.
Okay.
So I can send it to you after.
search Emacs glossary.
Yeah. Okay. And what were some other questions? So some suggestions from IRC for like helpful Emacs series. A.S. Jackson and Sasha both recommend Emacs Rocks. Have you seen it?
Yeah, I've seen it.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah, that's actually pretty good, yeah.
And M. Borg says that Mickey Peterson's Mastering Emacs blog and book are both really good. So actually, this is funny. We tried to get Mickey Peterson to come, but he was busy, and he was like, "Oh, do you want to like hand out copies of the book?" And then I think we forgot to respond. So that was my bad.
Hard copies?
I don't know if it was hard copies or like PDFs, but Emacs 2016.
So now we know to hate.
That was my fault. Sorry, Mickey, if you're watching. And then Sasha says, Sasha wants to know about, has anyone here used the Emacs Stack Exchange? Ooh, have you used it, Daniel?
Yeah, but I posted like one question. I never got a response.
Oh, that sucks.
There you go, alone again. So, yeah.
I feel like Stack Overflow with an Emacs hashtag is more effective.
Oh, really?
Really?
Yeah.
So the comment was, what was it name?
There's two. There's one and hashtag that's actually dedicated Emacs.
Yeah.
Stack Overflow.
Yeah.
New development.
Yeah.
So that was Mitch? Mish.
Yeah.
So Mish had a comment that he feels, that the hash Emacs on just normal Stack Overflow can be more helpful.
It's not hash, it's tag. It's
Tag Emacs.
Tag,
Yeah.
sorry.
All right.
And there are about the same number of people asking questions.
Yeah.
Probably.
Apparently they're the same type, like same amount of people on both.
All right.
Yeah. Other questions in the room?
It's not a question, but in terms of the videos, like, I think that something like in the Mastering Emacs, Mastering Emacs and the Emacs Rocks things are maybe not the very first level of a beginner. But what might help is a video showing somebody how they can ask Emacs. Because you finally found out that lots of this information is in Emacs itself, Control H, whatever, and the manual, hitting I for the index or whatever. So maybe just an intro video showing someone how they can ask Emacs from the very get-go when they don't know anything.
So the comment was maybe create a video that shows people how to look for stuff in Emacs itself. So yeah, I'm actually planning on doing like a like a 5-minute video. You know, this is the tutorial. This is the glossary and everything. This is how you can search for stuff within Emacs. Because yeah, that is helpful, extremely helpful. So yeah, is that it or?
Was there another hand? Yeah.
So I've only been using Emacs for about a year, so I recently went through the fun learning curve as well. And so what I found was to try to just layer stuff on, like first find out how to move around and page up and page down without page keys and that kind of stuff, and save and basic editing stuff.
Yeah.
And then once I got comfortable with something, I'd find something else to get used to. There's so much stuff there to start off with.
Yeah. So did you think the stuff that I presented was relevant to what you went through, or?
I was generally able to find answers when I had specific questions.
Okay.
But yeah, so I know a lot of people that use Sublime because it's easier to jump into immediately.
Yeah. All the cool kids use it now.
I don't know if I'd go that.
At my school, that's all the rave. Oh, Sublime. Yeah.
I guess it depends on what you're looking for, but I guess I don't have any concrete ways on how to make that learning curve easier. But it definitely is there, and I think it does stop a lot of people from using Emacs otherwise.
Okay. All right. Wait.
I mentioned another resource. There's a Emacs newbie category on the Emacs wiki. Okay?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
Tons of stuff about
man, I never find all this stuff.
Emacs and
Okay. All right. Sweet. Yeah.
Emacs newbie.
All right. Sweet.
Yeah.
So it's not a question, but I was wondering if I could do a follow-up lightning talk to this.
Oh yeah.
Because we had an Emacs club at my university for 3 years, and we have a website that you can look at for reference to what we did and stuff.
Yeah. I'm gonna give a lightning talk because they're about kind of the same thing. So yeah, we should talk after. Yeah.
But yeah. So are there any other questions in person? No. There are just some comments from IRC, and just so we can get through them, we'll bunch them all up into the same comment and just shout out to all these people. So, just going through IRC, Howard Abrams also recommends the Mastering Emacs book. He says it's awesome. Cantor on IRC says they used to give Vim workshops, and the students, they would give them like Vim challenges, and now that they use Emacs, they're planning on doing the same thing there. And apparently that was like popular, where they would just like come up with like short things for people to do. And then I think that's, yeah. So did you want to just set up your computer now, or?
Yeah, I can do that.
Because we have a bunch of time. Yeah.
Yeah, I can just
Cool. But that was awesome. Thank you, Daniel.
Okay.